What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers on the Bottom. I'm your host, Jay Miller, if you like. So let's get into it. So before we get into anything in the episode, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll be doing a giveaway Friday. It'll be either a Visa or Amazon gift card. We'll stay away from the Cowboys shop. They suck. They ain't doing what they do. Maybe that's a bad omen. Maybe that just confirms what we think about the team. But whatever it is, no Cowboy shop. We'll do a Visa gift card or an Amazon gift card. Hopefully, a Visa gift card so you can use it wherever you want in these days and times. I know that'll be much better for most people. So we'll try to go with the Visa gift card first, Amazon gift card second. But just make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tune in Friday because we will be giving it away. And then when we get to 100, we'll give away something else. So the Cowboys finally make a decision, right? Finally, whether it was fully their decision or partially their decision and some of Mike McCarthy's decision, whatever it is, the Cowboys will have a new head coach going into the 2025 season. What does that mean for Cowboys fans? One of the things it means is get ready for another season similar or worse than this season because a new coach is going to come in. They don't have much cap space. They're locked into Dak Prescott. They're locked into CeeDee Lamb, which is a good thing. And they're probably going to be locked into Micah Parsons. And then you have this young roster who was drafted by this front office this year and then also drafted by Mike McCarthy's staff. So you're going to get some evaluations on what people think is a player that they can use, player that they can't use. So a lot of the 2025 season is going to be spent kind of just feeling things out. So just be ready for that first off. But second off, that gives us a wide open draft class to work with when we start talking about draft prospects here in the next few weeks. And we get to the scouting combine, we get done with these bowl games, we get to see how people look. That gives us a wide open field because we don't know if the new coaching staff is going to like the same type of players athletically, scheme-wise, that this last regime liked. So we're going to get evaluation plus hopefully if the Cowboys get on their hiring thing and make sure that they interview and get someone hired within a reasonable amount of time, we'll also get to know what that person, specifically might like. Hopefully, in my opinion, I'm hoping that it's someone that we don't know what they like. And what I mean by that is I'm hoping for a Joe Brady or a Aaron Glenn, a Bobby Slowick, somebody who doesn't have a tie to the Cowboys tree of familiarity and is more so like someone that they would take a chance on, someone that is an up-and-coming offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator in the National Football League and someone that they can kind of lean on in that way to bring them into a newer era of football. Now, there's always this side, and this is a very real side being a Cowboys fan. We don't know what Jerry Jones is going to do. We hear lots of things in the media as to what Jerry Jones might look for. Example A being familiarity. So you have in the familiarity group, you've got people like Kellen Moore, you got people like John Gruden, Ron Rivera, just your Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, your retreads, right? Your people who have already been head coaches in the National Football League and who have skins on the wall, who might have won a Super Bowl or at least been moderately successful with other teams. And then, Jerry Jones is going to kind of handpick from that list people that he either knows or he thinks would work well with the Dallas Cowboys. So, a lot of people are putting the odds on favorite on Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore coached here before and he kind of understands the way that the Dallas Cowboys operate, the way that they work. But on the same token, I think Kellen Moore needs a little bit more time before he's successful. Now, you also got to factor in the motivations of the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones and wonder if he's thinking, hey, this guy might not be the head coach that we need him right now, but we need somebody to bridge the gap till we get to the person that we really want, or till we get to the place where we're able to compete, and now we can get a better head coach and marry that with a cap-friendly roster and kind of go after it. But that doesn't present itself for about 3 years, right? So you've got Dak's contract. The only real get out is about 3 years from now. And the way the Cowboys and Stephen Jones was talking a few weeks ago, he was kind of making it sound like, hey, we're paying for Dak Prescott's previous contract right now, and we're going to be moving around things in Dak Prescott's current contract to kind of try to make it work salary cap wise to see what we need to do with other players. So they're planning on kicking the can down the road, which presents a scenario where in 3 years they're in the same exact position that they are right now, which is before the season they basically had to sign Dak Prescott or they would have nothing. And 3 years from now they could be in a very similar situation of having to sign Dak Prescott or they'll have nothing. So, and then you have to factor in the age of Jerry Jones, the position that he's in with the franchise right now. I don't know if he's willing to let a young coach or an up-and-coming coach learn on the job. So, in that case, you would eliminate a certain amount of names. Now, there is a factor in here that we're not factoring in, which is that maybe Jerry Jones is thinking beyond his, last few years and is maybe trying to set the Cowboys up for sustained success even beyond his years. Maybe he's thinking about his kids, maybe thinking about his family, maybe he's thinking about his franchise. Hopefully, all three of those are happening and he starts to think, hey, if we get a coach in here that might be up and coming and might have to learn the job, maybe I might have to go through a year or two of growing pains in order to get them on track, and then we can see where we're going. But that would mean someone like Ben Johnson, which I don't think the Cowboys are going to allow that. But in that next tier of coaches, you have your Joe Brady's, you have your Aaron Glenn's, you have your Munchaks, you have your Slowicks. I mean, there's some interesting names out there that hopefully the Cowboys are willing to take a look at, willing to interview. I mean, I know they're probably going to interview Lovie Smith and Ron Rivera for Rooney Rule purposes, just to make sure they satisfy that portion. But there are some other names out there, from a bunch of different coaching trees that are a little bit interesting that I hope the Cowboys at least take a chance and try to take a look at and give honest consideration to. But also, I hope the situation, the ending with Mike McCarthy, leads them to possibly reevaluating the way they do things. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. I mean, the Cowboys have been pretty much the same here for the last 28 years or so. They don't really change the way they do things. The last time they went out crazy in free agency was Brandon Carr, and since that didn't turn out so well, they've kind of backed off on being big players in free agency. And with if a new coach came in this year, that would give them the perfect excuse of, hey, first year coach, we're actually in evaluation mode. That's what we're doing right now. We're taking a look at everybody on the roster. We're going to draft our class according to what our coach likes to see, and then we're going to let everybody play, and we're going to see what guys fit, what guys don't, and then we're going to retool and readjust. And in year 2, maybe we do something different. So it gives them a perfect excuse. Now, on the flip side, if you wanted to see different results happen in the postseason, in the regular season, a different type of Dallas Cowboys team, at least you have a little bit of hope, because without Mike McCarthy being there, that means you're going to get something different than you've seen the last few years. Now, this something different could be worse. This something different could be something better, right? When the Cowboys went from Jason Garrett to Mike McCarthy, it took a little down dip for a year, but then it got better, right? And so the hope is that you go from Mike McCarthy to whoever you're going to next, and you get a bit better as well. Maybe you might have a dip for a year or two, but you get better. I'm not trying to sell you guys hope as the Cowboys would. I'm just trying to look at it from the standpoint of this is the position that we're in, and these are the positions that we could be in. So let's hope the Cowboys make some awesome decisions. But hey, at least it's a day that we all know that change is coming in one way, but we know a constant is always going to be there, and that constant is Jerry Jones. That constant is Stephen Jones. That constant is Will McClay. So those guys are not moving on, nor will they ever move on. Maybe Will McClay in the future, but as I'm saying, the Joneses, they're there. They won't move on. They'll be the same. They'll always be in place. And so hopefully we get some changes in other ways that are meaningful enough to get us somewhere that we haven't been in quite a long time, right? But like I said, new day, no Mike McCarthy. He's gone. Most of the staff is going to be gone. I hope they find a way to retain Bones Fossil because he's a great special teams coordinator. I really don't want to see him go to another team. I really would hope they try to retain Al Harris. I think he's developing nicely under us. And regardless of what people say, I think he has a future in this league as a defensive coordinator and also as a head coach. I really firmly believe that. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can hit me up on Twitter at JMillerIYL. That's J Miller if you like. You can also hit me up at knockersonthebottom@outlook.com. Again, knockersonthebottom@outlook.com. You can also hit me up at knockersonthebottom@gmail.com. You can leave comments below if there's anything specific that you want me to cover. Any questions that you might have, I'll take them here. I'll take them via email. I'll take them via Twitter. Put it into a mailbag. Make it a formal segment. Again, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Also, again, Friday, giveaway, Visa gift card or Amazon. So make sure that you're tuning in. But thank you guys so much for listening. Love you guys. Until next time, I'm your host, J Mill. J Miller if you like. This has been Knockers on the Bottom. Peace.